My name's Henry Kernan and I'm a geology student. This video was made with a grant from the Davis Projects for Peace to help small-scale miners safely use mercury for gold recovery. I'm here in Oregon in the United States with Tom Bond, a mining engineer who has a simple device for a retort which will allow you to burn off mercury from gold and recover the mercury without breathing in the fumes.
I used that retort design in the 1980s. It worked very well for us, and it is very simple, easy to use. I think it would be a good one for Henry to introduce to small miners worldwide.
First, what we need is a piece of large pipe, a steel bar, smaller piece of steel pipe, and some pieces of sheet metal. Notice that all these materials can be scrap metal. Finally, what you need is a water bucket. The advantages of this retort is that you can make it any size you want. Right now we're going to make it about the average size for a small-scale miner to use. We're going to cut the pipe first. Before we cut the pipe, it's important to clean off any paint on the outside. This will make it easier to cut and weld the pipe. It will also make it safer to use the retort, because you do not want to burn the paint. In order for the retort to be more effective, you have to scrape off the rust from inside so that the mercury particles won't stick to the sides of the tube. It's also necessary to cut notches into the bottom of the tube. This will allow you to see the mercury that condenses in the water, so you can know if the retort is working properly. The next step is going to be cutting the bar to go inside the retort. And you're going to want to cut that about 5 centimeters below the top of the tube. And now the next step is to cut a holder out of the smaller tube. And the size has to be small enough that it fits into the larger tube. So we've cut the small tube and made a little holder, and now we'll cut a circular part of the sheet metal out to act as a base to this holder. We need another piece of sheet metal for the top of the large tube. It's a good idea to smooth the sides of the sheet metal so that it will be easier to make a perfectly sealed weld. Now we have all our materials ready and we can weld them together to form the retort. First we're going to weld the top to the outer steel tube. Then we're going to weld the base to the holder tube. And the holder is going to be welded to the top of the rod. The bottom of the rod is going to be welded to a base. And that base has to be small enough to fit into the water bucket.